Welcome back to Niger Man's Perspective. Today I'll be talking about global news that has been going on for quite some time in the UK. Yes, the UK. There has been anti-Muslim and anti-immigrant riots in a few parts, more than a few parts of the UK. The rioters have been attacking British mosques. Hotels that house immigrants have also been attacked. Southport, so many other cities. It's been crazy. I'll be honest with you. It's really been crazy. So I'm just going to react to this news reported by First Post. Shout out to First Post, and I'll give my thoughts towards this at the end of this particular video.
Britain's new Prime Minister Keir Starmer has a crisis on his hands. He held a so-called Cobra meeting today. Cobra short for Cabinet Office Briefing Room A meeting. Now, this is when ministers, civil servants, police and intelligence officials gather during an emergency and they try and find a way to respond. His goal is simple: find the rioters and punish them.
Okay, so before we continue watching the video, some of you might be wondering, why are they rioting? Why are they rioting? So, great question if you've asked. If you've not asked, you're probably thinking it. Why are they rioting? Why are they rioting? So, more than a few days ago, a 17-year-old man or 17-year-old boy killed 3 children. Terrible. In the UK, they were stabbed to death. My respect to and condolences to the families of the children, and they were children. Completely abhorrible act. When the news came out that this boy killed them, it was also identified as a Rwandan boy and incorrectly identified as an asylum seeker that came to the UK last year, who lives in Wales. But it now turns out that he was not an asylum seeker, and he was actually born and raised in Wales. But by the time the information came out, angry rioters, I won't call this one protesters, angry rioters went out, and because there was a rhetoric that he's a Muslim, there was some sentiments in quite a few places that the way to get back was to go to the streets, to loot shops, to burn hotels, to burn public offices, private offices. There's been a lot of looting. Some people have been stabbed. Some people have been severely injured. Some parts in Middlesbrough, there were houses that people threw bricks through their windows, smashing it. People's cars were smashed. It's really been crazy. British mosques have been attacked as well. Hotels where asylum seekers are being housed until when their cases are being heard were also smashed. Me personally, I have gotten WhatsApp messages and people sending messages to say, don't go out, be careful, etc., etc. So there's been anxiety. There's been anxiety in the land. I'm not gonna lie. So that's just the background of what caused this thing. And just to be very clear, the boy in question has been arraigned in court, and definitely with how it's going, he's going to get convicted and is going to be given the full wrath of the law in terms of what he has done, because it's unacceptable. It's absolutely unacceptable. But let's keep watching.
People in this country have a right to be safe, and yet we've seen Muslim communities targeted, attacks on mosques, other minority communities singled out, Nazi salutes in the street, attacks on the police, wanton violence alongside racist rhetoric. So no, I won't shy away from calling it what it is: far-right thuggery. If you target people because of the colour of their skin or their faith, then that is far-right, and I'm prepared to say so.
Starmer says the rioters are far-right thugs, bigots who were waiting for an excuse to attack Muslims and immigrants, and they got their excuse last week. Last Monday, a 17-year-old boy went on a rampage in the town of Southport. He stabbed multiple children at a dance studio. 3 young girls were killed. 8 other children and 2 adults are in hospital. It was a brutal attack. The suspect was arrested at the scene of the crime, and since he was a minor, his identity was initially withheld. But rumors about the attacker's identity spread online. A large number of people believed that he was a Muslim immigrant, and that was the excuse that they were looking for. A riot.
You heard what she said. That's the excuse they were looking for. So there has been sentiments of anti-immigrant and anti-Muslim rhetoric for some time. That's the truth. That is the truth. And just hearing that it was an immigrant and a Muslim that murdered these children was enough. And the UK has been boiling. The UK has been boiling for some time, for years. And it's not for this video. Brexit 7-7, just things that have been happening for years has been snowballing to this effect. It's wrong, it's absolutely wrong. Let's keep watching.
Hundreds of people from out of town decided to attack a mosque in Southport. Then the riot started spreading. The British government warned people against believing the misinformation. A judge even made the minor suspect's identity public. The attacker is Axel Ruda Kubana. He's a British citizen born in Wales to Rwandan parents. The British police say that he has no known links to Islam, but none of this mattered to the rioters. They were out for blood. The riot spread to Manchester and Hartlepool on Wednesday, Sunderland and Liverpool on Friday, Blackpool, Bolton and Belfast on Saturday. And then yesterday, we saw this. Mobs attacking 2 Holiday Inn Express hotels. One in Rotherham and another in Tamworth. Now, these hotels were targeted for a reason. They're being used to house asylum seekers. These are refugees who escaped their home countries, somehow made it to the UK and are looking for a new beginning. Their asylum requests are still being processed. Some of them will have genuine cases and they will be allowed to take refuge. The others will be rejected. That's how asylum requests usually go. But it seems the rioters do not want any of them. No matter their story, the rioters want all the refugees out, so they attacked these hotels. What does all of this tell you? There are a number of people in Britain who hate immigrants and a number of people who hate Islam. Muslim immigrants are hated twice as much. It's so bad that a stabbing by a British citizen of Rwandan descent has led to anti-Muslim and anti-immigrant riots across the country. Think about the number of riots and their geographical spread. It can't be the same people traveling cross-country to incite violence. This means that anti-Muslim, anti-immigrant rioters are everywhere. They lurk in every corner of the UK, waiting for an excuse to burn a...
So yeah, I mean, she's right. It's not like they were traveling from London to Rotherham, traveling from London to Southport, traveling from London to Manchester. I'm just using London as a base reference. I'm not saying it's not like they're traveling. These are localized people in these different parts that are coming out in droves. So it just tied to what I said earlier about the sentiment. It's there in the UK. It's there. Let's keep watching and I'll give my final thoughts on this one.
A mosque or a hotel housing refugees. Now, does this sound like a secular, liberal, holier-than-thou Western nation to you? Does this sound like some pinnacle of humanity and civilization? Or does this sound like a bigoted place, a place where minorities are under threat, where some outsiders are unwelcome, and where multiculturalism is met with violence? The West loves to talk about inclusivity. It loves to preach humanity and tolerance and all that jazz, but scratch the surface, and the same rot lies underneath.
She's right. The West talk a good talk about diversity and inclusion. The West talk a good talk about multiculturalism. But when it comes to it, the truth is revealed. I've said earlier, I totally condemn 100% what Axel did to those children. My thoughts and prayers to the family and their families and their friends and well-wishers. My heart goes out. Deplorable act. And like I said, he will have his full day in court where the full weight of the law will be applied. I mean, murder is a no-no. Children, even... However, this is also bringing the hatred that is in this country called the UK. The hatred against immigrants. The hatred against Muslims. We're seeing it. We saw it in this video. We saw the anger, but beyond the anger, we also saw the hatred. When will this stop? When will this stop? When will this hatred stop? That's my question. Guys, as usual, I want you to comment on this. It's not a one-way street, it's a two-way street. Please comment down below. Keep your comments respectful, of course. I'm going to end this one here. Subscribe to my channel. Like this video.